Now let us study about the metallic or non-metallic character down the group. See, generally the metallic or non-metallic character. So this is standard. This is particularly related to representative elements. Okay, so we will study about the transitional elements and inner transitional elements later. So transitional elements and inner transitional elements, all these are all transitional elements and all inner transitional elements are metals. Okay, leave those things aside. Now we will learn about the representative elements. So in representative elements particularly, so representative elements, they start from first year group to seventh year group. So out of these groups, so first year, second and third year group are metals. They are related to metals and they show metallic character. And fourth year to seventh year group are said to be non-metal groups. Okay, suppose if you take first year group, so these are the elements: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So out of all these first year group elements, lithium is the small size atom, and the sodium is somewhat larger, and potassium is still larger, rubidium is still larger, cesium is still larger, and francium is still larger. So why the atomic size is increasing? Because as we move down the group, so a new shell is added to that atom. Okay, so therefore what happens? The distance from the nucleus and the outermost orbit will increase. Okay, so lithium is a small size atom. So suppose this is the nucleus of lithium atom and it is having only 2 orbits, and the electron of the last orbit, it is present closer to the nucleus, whereas in francium there are so many shells between. So what happens? So the electron is far away from the nucleus, so the nucleus has less control over the last electron, whereas in lithium nucleus has more control over the last electron. So in this case, so which atom can lose electron easily? Because the nucleus cannot hold this electron easily, because it is, as this electron is far away, so this electron can be lost easily. So losing of electrons, that means electropositive nature or else metallic nature. So metallic nature of francium is more, because it loses electron easily, whereas lithium, its metallic nature is less. So what happens? So down the group, as we move from one element to another element down the group, metallic character increases. Okay, so what is the reason means? So as atomic size increases. What is the reason for increase in atomic size? As number of shells increases. So as number of shells increases, the atomic size increases. Therefore, the nuclear force of attraction decreases. Hence, the last electron can be removed easily from that atom. That means that atom can lose that last electron easily. Hence, the metallic character will be more. So like this, metallic character can be discussed. Okay. Next, if you come to non-metals groups, so that means from 4th year to 7th year group, the non-metallic character, it is also called as electronegative character. Electronegative character. So what happens to the electronegative character? It decreases in any group, down the group. For example, take 7th year group. What are 7th year group elements? 7th year group elements: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. So what happens to the size of the atom? So size of the atom, electronegative. See, size of the atom increases. Down the group, size of the atom increases, no doubt. But electronegative character means electron attracting ability. For example, fluorine, let us take fluorine. So this is the fluorine atom. It is having only 2 orbits. So this is the electron in the last orbit. Whereas astatine, iodine or astatine, so it is having so many orbits. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orbits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orbits. In the sixth orbit, so electron is present. So in order to, so here, the last orbit, it is far away from the nucleus. Here in this case, the last orbit is nearer to the nucleus. Therefore, this nucleus has control, more control on these electrons. So this nucleus can add one more electron easily. This nucleus can add one more electron easily, because so it can hold that electron with more control. But if you want to add one more electron to this atom, what happens? The nucleus is far away from the added electron. So what happens? The force of attraction will be less. Hence, this nucleus cannot hold that added electron easily. Okay, that means electron attracting ability or else electronegativity of this atom is less when compared to this atom. Hence, the fluorine is having more electronegative. Hence, fluorine can take electron easily, whereas astatine cannot take electron easily. Electron taking ability or else non-metal ability. Electron taking ability is nothing but non-metal character. So non-metal character, so it is decreasing down the group. So non-metal character, non-metal nature, non-metallic nature decreases down the group. Decreases down the group. Non-metallic nature decreases down the group, because down the group the number of shells increases as we move from one element to another element. Therefore, the atom cannot take one more electron easily. Electron taking ability is said to be non-metallic character. Electron losing ability is said to be metallic character. Okay. So like this, the metallic character and non-metallic character can be explained easily. Okay, that means here the nucleus of fluorine has a greater tendency to attract an extra electron. Okay, the nucleus of fluorine atom, it has a greater tendency to attract the extra electron, whereas the nucleus of this astatine, it has no tendency. It has least tendency or less tendency to attract the extra electron into that atom. Hence, so which one can easily form ion? So F can take electron easily, fluorine can add electron easily and form F minus ion. But astatine, formation of At minus ion, it is difficult. Formation of F minus ion is easy, but formation of At minus ion, it is difficult. Astatine, astatide ion, it is difficult because fluorine is small size atom. Small size atoms, remember that small size atoms, atomic size, when atomic size is low, electronegativity will be high. Electronegativity means electron attracting ability. Okay, electron attracting ability will be more. Therefore, what happens? Fluorine has more attracting ability towards the electron. So therefore it can attract an electron easily and it can take one more electron easily, whereas astatine cannot take one more electron easily. Okay. So what is the reason for this means? Simply, again here the shells are as we move down the group, so number of shells increases. Okay. So and one more thing. So amongst all elements in the periodic table, francium is the most electropositive element. So which one? Francium is the most electropositive element, and fluorine is the most electronegative element. So francium is the most electropositive element, and fluorine is the most electronegative element. So I am writing. Among all the elements in the periodic table, francium, most electropositive element. Most electropositive element. Whereas fluorine is most electronegative element. That means strongest metal. strongest metal, and electronegativity means strongest to non-metal, strongest to non-metal. Okay, so like this we can discuss about the metallic or non-metallic character. So generally, once again, fast revision we will do. So along a period, what happens? Metallic nature or metallic character. So it decreases, and non-metallic nature or else non-metallic character increases. So down the group, along a group, down the group, what happens to the metallic character? Metallic nature increases, whereas non-metallic nature decreases down the group. So in this way, metallic and non-metallic character can be discussed. Now let us learn a new character of the elements known as reactivity. The new character of the element is reactivity. Reactivity means ability to undergo chemical reactions, ability to participate in chemical reactions. So it is called as reactivity. Again here also, reactivity wise we can divide elements into two: metals and non-metals. Metals depend on electropositive nature. Non-metals depend on electronegativity. Metals depend on electropositivity, non-metals depend on electronegativity. Okay, see, if you consider reactivity along a period. So first we will learn about the reactivity along a period. So reactivity, if you consider, so reactivity decreases. Reactivity, what happens initially? It decreases, reaches to a minimum. Okay, reactivity decreases gradually and reaches to a minimum. Okay, minimum in fourth group. Minimum reaches to minimum in the middle, and then onwards, and then onwards, reactivity increases. See, if you see any group, any period, for let us see third period. So what are the elements of third period? Sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, and argon. See, argon, it is inert. Argon is an inert gas. Inert means non-reactive. If you see, up to here are metals. So up to here they are metals, and from here onwards up to here non-metals. These are what? Metals, and these are what? Non-metals. Okay. See, if you go from left to right along a period means always remember from left to right horizontally. From left to right horizontally. See, sodium is highly reactive. It is highly reactive. Already we learnt about the sodium and reactivity of sodium and magnesium. So sodium is highly reactive. Okay, magnesium is somewhat less reactive, and aluminum is less reactive still. Okay, so silicon is least reactive. Sodium is highly reactive. The reactivity decreases from sodium to magnesium, and from magnesium to aluminum still decreases. and from aluminum to silicon, the reactivity will fall down, and the silicon will be the least reactive element. And from then onwards, the reactivity gradually increases from phosphorus to silicon to phosphorus, and phosphorus to sulfur, and from sulfur to chlorine. So now the chlorine is the highly reactive element. Chlorine is the highly reactive element. That means if you consider any period, the the extreme ends, so at the opposite ends, the elements, the groups which belong to opposite ends, they show highly reactivity. So don't consider inert gases. Okay, so the left extreme group and the right extreme group, we should not include inert gases, so they are highly reactive. What happens towards the center? If you come, so the reactivity decreases gradually, and in the middle, the group which is present in the middle is the least reactive group. So like this, the reactivity along a period can be studied. So along a period from left to right horizontally, initially the reactivity decreases and reaches to a minimum reactivity, and from then onwards reactivity increases. Because here, so the reactivity, it depends upon the so this for metals, reactivity depend upon electropositivity, and for non-metals, reactivity depends upon electronegativity. Remember, so for metals, reactivity depends upon electropositivity, and for non-metals, reactivity depends see, already we have written. For metals, reactivity depend on electropositivity. For non-metals, reactivity depend on electronegativity. So what is happening to electropositivity? Up to here only metals. So electropositivity is decreasing. Along a period, already we learned that electropositivity decreases. Hence, the reactivity decreases. Okay. And reaches to minimum value. Silicon is a metalloid. So it possesses both metallic and non-metallic nature. Hence, the electropositivity decreases up to silicon. And further also it decreases. But from here onwards, the non-metallic character will dominate, or electronegative will dominate. So here electropositivity will dominate, and here electronegativity will dominate. So though these elements also will have electronegativity, they have both, all these elements, they have both electropositivity as well as electronegativity. But in the metals, electropositivity is dominating, whereas in non-metals, electronegativity is dominating. So we have to consider only electropositivity up to here only. Okay. So they, from here onwards, electropositivity will not be considered, because electronegativity will be dominating there, as they are non-metals. So while considering the electropositivity, so the electropositivity is decreasing. Hence reactivity also will decrease. Reactivity decreases. Okay, because metals reactivity depend upon electropositivity. Non-metals reactivity depend upon electronegativity. And from reactivity decreases and reaches to minimum in the middle, and then onwards reactivity starts increases. Why from the middle the reactivity increases? Because from the middle all the elements towards the left side, from the middle towards the right side, all the elements are non-metals. As they are non-metals, so we have to the reactivity of non-metal depend upon electronegativity. And one more thing, so electronegativity increases along a period from left to right. Always electronegativity increases. Okay, as electronegativity increases and the reactivity depend on electronegativity, so from here onwards reactivity increases. reactivity decreases till here and reaches to minimum value, and from then onwards reactivity increases. So the decrease in reactivity up to here is due to electropositivity, and the increase in reactivity from here onwards is due to increase in electronegativity. So these are the things which we should learn about the reactivity along a period. Now we will learn the reactivity down the group. Reactivity down the group. Down the group. Again here metal groups. What are metal groups? First A, second A and third A groups. And what are non-metal groups? Fourth A, fifth A, sixth A and seventh A. So take these elements down the group. For example, take lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So already we have seen that the electropositivity increases down the group. So electropositivity increases down the group. Down the group. So as these are metals, as these groups are metals, so metals, the reactivity depends upon electropositivity. Hence, as electropositivity is increasing down the group, therefore reactivity also increases down the group. So this portion, the reactivity increases down the group. Now let us learn about non-metals. Non-metals, their reactivity depend upon electronegativity. So here, if you consider this group, any group you may consider, for example, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. So what is happening to electronegativity? So electronegativity electronegativity decreases down the group. Because fluorine, its electronegativity is 4.0 and iodine, its electronegativity is 2.1 only. Electronegativity value if you see. So if you learn about electronegativity later, so here electronegativity of fluorine is high. Among all the elements already we learned fluorine has the highest electronegativity. So as we move down in any group related to non-metal groups, what happens? The electronegativity decreases, because for non-metals we have to consider electronegativity only. Only for metals we have to consider electropositivity. So here, as this is a non-metal group and the electronegativity is decreasing from fluorine to astatine, so gradually decreases. So what happens? Therefore, because for non-metals reactivity depend upon electronegativity and electronegativity is decreasing down the group, therefore reactivity decreases down the group. So in this way reactivity can be studied, because again this is also a reason means why electropositivity is increasing down the group. Reason means new shells are added. When new shells are added, what happens? Therefore what happens? Nuclear force of attraction on last electron decreases from one element to another element, from one element to other element down the group. See what is happening. So here lithium is small size atom, therefore the nuclear force of attraction on the last electron will be more. But if francium is the large size atom, hence the nuclear force of attraction on the last electron decreases and reaches to minimum value, and here the nuclear force of attraction on the last electron will be very very less. Okay, that means nuclear force of attraction decreases from one element to another element down the group. So that is why what is happening, the nucleus here in this atom, the nucleus show more force of, show very less force of attraction on the last electron, hence that this atom can lose the electron from the atom very easily, the because last electron is present far away from the nucleus. Hence, the electropositivity will be more. Electropositivity is nothing but electron losing ability. So, out of these two, in any group, particularly in metals, the electropositivity increases. Electron losing ability increases. So, that is the reason why electropositivity. So, simply we can say that new shells are added. So, that is the reason why electropositivity increases. And here also, as the new shells are added, what happens? The electronegativity decreases. Okay, so the same reason we can mention at both in both sides. But here, reactivity depend on electronegativity for non-metals, but for metals, reactivity depend upon electropositivity. So like this, we learn the reactivity and how it varies along a period and along a group. Okay, it is not same in all groups, and it is not same throughout a period. So if the reactivity will be different, it changes differently along a period, and even in groups also. Some groups reactivity decreases down the group. Okay, particularly non-metals, and for some groups the reactivity increases down the group for metals. Okay, right. Now let us learn about the next character, nature of oxides. Nature of oxides. Nature of oxides. Nature of oxides. See, again we have to remember one thing. See, metal oxides. Oxides are of mainly four types. Mainly oxides are of four types, Nana. So metal oxides. Metal oxides. They are also called as acidic oxides. Basic oxides. Basic oxides, non-metal oxides, they are called as acidic oxides, and third type of oxides are said to be amphoteric oxides. Okay, these oxides, they show both acidic as well as basic nature. So these amphoteric oxides, they show both acidic as well as basic nature. And neutral oxides. So all metal oxides are basic oxides, non-metal oxides are acidic oxides. Amphoteric oxides means particularly metalloids, oxides of metalloids, and also oxides of few metals, like oxides of few metals like zinc oxide, aluminum oxide, tin oxide. Okay, so etc. Zinc oxide, aluminum oxide, tin oxide, so etc. Here lead monoxide also. Okay, so etc. So these oxides of these metals are amphoteric. That means they are both acidic as well as basic. And neutral oxides. What are neutral oxides? That means they neither show acidic nature nor basic nature. Such oxides are said to be neutral oxides. So examples, if you see carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, nitrogen dioxide, water, MnO2, so etc. So these are neutral oxides particularly. So remember, try to remember the neutral oxides and even amphoteric oxides. So oxides of metalloids and oxides of metalloid and oxides of few metals like zinc, aluminium, tin, lead, etc. So they show amphoteric nature. That means they show both acidic as well as basic nature. Okay. So what happens? See, metal oxides are acidic in nature, basic in nature, and non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. If you consider along a period, first let us see along a period. For example, take metal oxides means metals oxides. For example, take sodium oxide, calcium oxide, magnesium oxide, barium oxide, etc. Non-metal oxides, example carbon dioxide, sulfur trioxide, okay, N2O5, nitrogen pentoxide, okay, P2O5, Cl2O7, etc. So these are what? These are non-metal oxides, and these are the metal oxide. Example for metal oxides. Okay, we will learn some more points about the oxides, the nature of oxides. So how it varies along a period and how it varies down the group. So first let us learn about the period, how the nature of oxides vary along a period from left to right horizontally by taking any period as an example. So let us take third period as an example. So what are the elements of third period? Sodium oxide. So sodium oxide of sodium will have this formula, Na2O, oxide of magnesium, oxide of aluminium, oxide of silicon, oxide of phosphorus, oxide of sulfur, oxide of chlorine. So Cl2O7, oxide of chlorine. So here if you consider, so here up to here these are basic. Up to here these are bases, these are metals. So generally metal oxides are basic. Metal oxides basic in nature. Remember, non-metal oxides, they are acidic in nature. See here, this is a strong metal, this is somewhat less strong, this is still less. Okay, so the metallic nature decreases. So that means when metallic nature decreases, what happens? Basic nature decreases. So when metallic nature increases, basic nature increases. When metallic nature decreases, basic nature decreases. So what happens? So metallic nature always decreases along a period from left to right. So what happens? So this is the strongest metal oxide, hence it is the strongest base. Which base is the strongest base, or else which oxide is the strongest base in third period? So these are what? These are third period elements. These are oxides of third period. Oxides of third period. So oxides of third period, if you see, sodium oxide, magnesium oxide, aluminum oxide, silicon dioxide, so phosphorus pentoxide, sulfur trioxide, and Cl2O7. So as these are the left side elements are metals and right side elements are non-metals. So here the extreme left element it is a strong metal, hence it forms a strong base. So this oxide is strong basic in nature, strongest basic, or else a strong basic in nature, strongest basic oxide. Okay, simply it is a basic oxide. Simply it is a basic oxide. Which one? Magnesium oxide. But aluminum oxide is amphoteric. Already we have seen amphoteric oxide. We have seen. I mean, simply after erasing that only, after erasing that concept only, we are learning this one. So about amphoteric, already we learned. Amphoteric means which show both acidic as well as basic nature. So they are said to be amphoteric. So aluminum oxide is amphoteric in nature. Okay. Silicon dioxide, it is slightly acidic. It is slightly acidic in nature. So what happens? So from here onwards, non-metallic character increases. So from here, metallic character decreases along a period. So up to here only metals, and from here non-metals will start, and the non-metallic character increases. So non-metallic character increases. When non-metallic character increases, then acidic nature increases. Acidic nature increases. So as non-metallic character increases, so what happened? This slightly acidic, this one is acidic oxide, and this is also acidic oxide. Okay, here Cl2O7 strongly acidic. It is strongly acidic. This oxide is strongly acidic. So like this. So towards the extreme left, the nature of oxide is strongly basic, and towards the extreme right, the nature of oxide is strongly acidic. So in this way, nature of oxides it varies along a period. So in generally, when we move from left to right along a period, the basic nature decreases. The basic nature of oxides decreases. So along a period, so we can learn this. The basic nature of oxides decreases, and acidic nature of oxides increases. So in this way, so the nature of oxides along a period can be learnt. Okay, now we will learn how the basic nature and acidic nature they vary down the group. How the basic nature of oxides, how they vary down the group. See, along a period we learnt. Along a period, what happens? Along a period from left to right, basic nature of oxides decreases, and acidic nature increases. Now if you see along a group, down the group, if you see, basic nature increases. For example, take any group. For example, take a second group: beryllium oxide, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, strontium oxide, and barium oxide. So these are what? Second year group oxides of second year group elements. So here what is happening? So barium oxide is the strongest basic oxide, whereas beryllium oxide is the weakest basic oxide. So here actually beryllium oxide, it is an amphoteric in nature, whereas this one is strongest base, strongest base. So like this we can learn about the basic nature and even basic nature what happens, down the group increases, and even if you consider the acidic nature along the, if basic nature increases then acidic nature should decrease. So in this way acidic nature will decrease. Basic nature and acidic nature, so they are opposite, hence acidic nature will decrease. So I mean here basic nature increase means acidic nature decreases, acidic nature. So like this we can learn about the nature of oxides. Okay, now we'll see one more point regarding the nature of chemical bonds. The nature of chemical bonds. The nature of chemical bonds. So the chemical bonding changes from ionic to covalent as one moves from left to right in a period. See, actually here left side of the periodic table. Left side of periodic table. So what are present in the left side of periodic table? So metals. So metals, they involve in ionic bond. They involve in ionic bonding. Ionic bond. Ionic bond is also called as electrovalent bond. It is also called as electrovalent bond. Ionic bond is also called as electrovalent bond. And towards the right side of periodic table. So they are non-metals. So non-metals generally they form I mean both the electrovalent as well as covalent also. Both electrovalent and covalent also. But mainly they form covalent bonds. Hence, as we move from left to right, hence in a period, hence we can say that in a period from left to right, what happens? As we move from left to right, electrovalent, the chemical bonding nature, the nature of chemical bonding. Chemical bonding means CB. The nature of chemical bonding, it changes from electrovalent bond to covalent bond. So like this so we can learn the nature of chemical bonding. So how it varies. If you see down the group, so here it is a period. In a period, so the nature of chemical bonding changes from electrovalent to covalent bond. But in a down the group, what happens? Generally down the group, the covalent nature decreases. Covalent nature decreases and ionic nature increases. covalent nature decreases and ionic nature increases. And ionic nature increases. So in this way we can learn about the the nature of chemical bonds, how the elements they form in the periodic table. So like this, okay, we'll learn the other points in the next class.